Hi, Emma here. I want to show you some of the breath practices which have been so invaluable for me during pregnancy. I really think that pranayama in the yoga toolkit is one of the most amazing things because it's like the fastest way that you can change how you feel in your body and your mind. So this video, I'll take you through several different practices, which if you like, you can practice them all in one go, but actually you can see how they can be applied at different times and in different situations to change how you feel and to deal with particular symptoms or issues. Either way, it's a really nice practice to get into your body and connect your mind with what's going on inside. So join me. So when we're practicing breath work, what's lovely about it is that you don't need to do any funny postures and you don't need to be bendy or strong particularly. And actually a lot of these things you can do anywhere, out in the world, on the bus, whatever. But what's important when we do it is that we find space for the lungs, because if you're sitting like this, it's kind of hard to breathe. So find a seat. Maybe I've got a cushion here just to get the hips a little bit elevated. You can sit in a bolster or a block, even a chair, why not? And just find a way that you can let the spine be buoyant and elevated. You can let the hands rest. We can start by taking a big breath in through the nose, letting it go through the mouth. Notice just that makes a difference to how you feel. Now let's take the hands onto the body. Right hand onto the belly, left hand onto the chest. And already just putting your hands here can be really calming. But all we do here, we're not changing anything yet. We're just going to start to weave the attention towards the breath. Let the attention and the breath become one thing. So as your hands rest on your body, make your fingertips gentle, make your hands sensitive so you can feel the movements as the breath comes in and goes out. Might be quite subtle. Maybe by letting your hands rest, you can start to encourage the breath to be deeper. And this is a nice way. We tend to kind of be drawn with the hands to the belly when you're pregnant. I actually just felt a kick just there. So know that when you're doing this breath, your baby can tell what's going on. And it can be quite a nice way to connect. As you'll see, in particular with certain particular breaths. But for now, just see if you can breathe more into that right hand down on your belly. So we're relaxing the belly as you inhale, letting it get big. And then as you exhale, gently letting it fall back. So you're not pushing the belly out when you're inhaling. You're just allowing the breath to fill you up. So you can think about filling up the right hand and then the left hand. And as you exhale, you let the left hand empty the chest first, and then the right hand at the belly. One more round of this. And breathe out. So I know this is working because I can feel someone talking to me right here. Hello. So this is just a really nice calming thing to do. Just 3 breaths, 4 or 5. Really changes But this also, it leads into kind of strengthening and integrity building exercise that we can do. So if you take your two hands to your belly, kind of cradle it from below, your fingers, your middle fingers are going to be just at that crease, the hip crease. So we're going to start to connect with a very deep core muscle, transverse abdominis, which kind of wraps all around. And since we're not doing like core work during pregnancy with rectus abdominis and stuff like that, it's still useful, however, to find that stabilising of the torso and the belly, and it connects in with the pelvic floor. And this breath is a really good way to do that. So let your hands be there, and the thumbs can be pointing up. So you're kind of circling the belly. And breathe in again, fill the belly up. As you exhale, we start to think about hugging gently, hugging the belly up and in. So it's not powerful, but it's just like a kind of like drawing in. You can feel maybe underneath the middle fingers here a contraction of the muscles, like that place where the hip crease is. That's, you can feel that transverse abdominis is coming on. Then as you inhale again, relax the belly, let it get full and open. Nice, exhale. Hugging yourself in, hugging your baby in. Again, inhale, breathe in. Then do the same thing. And we can add in the pelvic floor. It's kind of happening as it is, but if we draw our attention to it, we can accentuate and develop this. So here, as you breathe in, let the belly expand. You can feel how the chest expands, and even at the back. And think about the expansion going all the way up to your throat and all the way down to the base of your pelvic floor. So if you're sitting on something, you can maybe even feel how it presses down. Then as you exhale, let the belly float back. And the ribs float back, and the back of you floats back. And that pelvic floor also, like a parachute, goes and comes back up. So everything's kind of hugging in. Inhale. And exhale. Drawing everything in, including that pelvic floor. This is a good way of keeping that pelvic floor healthy and responsive. Not squeezing, but just letting it respond to the breath. One more time. Good. So relax, and then at the bottom there's this drawing in. Lovely. Release that in. So what's nice about this breath is it helps us to, any breath in particular, but this one helps us to connect with the really deepest parts of yourself, like physiologically, and also with what's going on with the little person in there. So we can shape the breath further using a count. Now what's really nice, still having the hands on the chest and the belly, you can do what we call in yoga Samavrrti Pranayama, which means the same length breath work, so that we inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. And we'll do 3 rounds of that right now. So settle. This is a very calming and lovely grounding breath. Let's take an exhale all the way out. And then we'll inhale together for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Now we can happily keep going with that for quite a while, but I'd like to show you how we can develop that. So if you're into hypnobirthing, or if you've heard anything about that, you've heard of what's the up breath. During the first stage of labour, It's a really helpful breath which helps us to deal with the contractions and stay relaxed and receptive to the labour process. And so this up breath is basically a count. We do in for 4, but then we exhale for longer, if possible up to twice as long. So we're going to build up to that now, that we'll build up to an inhale for 4 and an exhale for 8. Now it can be a little bit tricky to maybe get that if you haven't practiced this before, which is why we're going to build up to it. But also I encourage you during your pregnancy to practice this, because it's just super calming and really grounding for the nervous system. When our exhale is longer, we get into the parasympathetic part of the nervous system, which basically is rest and restore. Allowing oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which is the one which actually drives labour, allowing that to flow and allowing ourselves to just be chill and let the processes of our body work at their most efficient. So you can keep your hands here or you can let them rest on your knees, whatever you prefer. I'm going to do this because it's quite nice to tune into how it feels. So we'll begin with the Samavrrti, with the 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll build on it. So exhale, let your hips settle, then inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let the breath come back. Notice how you feel. Probably there'll be a change of some kind. If it felt a little bit uncomfortable the last part of it, doing all the way to 8, then I encourage you to practice this often. And even if it felt quite easy and something that's achievable, you'll definitely notice that this is something that can be really helpful and grounding. And before sleep as well, it's quite nice to get down. Okay, so that's the up breath, which they talk about in hypnobirthing, but is also something we do in yoga a lot. Then there's a down breath, which is for the second part of labour when you're starting to push things out. And they talk about this being nice to practice when you're doing a poo. So what you could do here is it's quite simple. It doesn't have a count, but it's something about understanding the sensation of it. So if you've practiced the breaths that we've done so far, you'll already start to have a feeling of what's going on inside your body. And so here I'd like you to take your hands to like the bottom of the ribs, basically. And here we take a big breath in. And as you exhale, think about everything going down, and we exhale through the mouth. So in the same way as we did with the transverse abdominis, you can feel the muscles starting to go down and out. So here, take a breath in. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. So that's something that you can help aid the process of labour. Obviously, it's not something I've done yet, but certainly it's something I'm going to be trying, and you can practice it, as I say, on the toilet. So we've done our standard tuning in with the breath. We've done Samavrrti Pranayama. We've done our up breath and our down breath. Now, there's a couple of other super helpful breaths that I have found during pregnancy, which are really traditional, like yogic practices. And so you probably know and have felt that in your body, during pregnancy, the body temperature is raised. And so you can tend to get too hot. And in particular, if things are a bit stressful or hectic, you can get a bit overheated. So one breath I found super helpful for this is called Sitali, which is basically, there's two ways of doing it. One is a bit more silly looking, but fun if you're doing it on your own. So if you can curl your tongue like this, then making a little tube out of your tongue, then you inhale through that. Because what it does, it makes the air really cool as you breathe in. So like this. Breathe in through the tongue. And then exhale out the nose. Again. Exhale. And so you can really feel it kind of having this cooling effect. Now, if you can't curl your tongue, let me show you how you do it otherwise. Also, if you're on the bus, you don't want to be going around like this. People are like, what's that crazy pregnant lady doing? Although in pregnancy, you can get away with a lot. I don't know if that is included. Here, you can do it instead, making the tube through your lips. And so I found this to be super helpful. So it cools you down physically, but also mentally. Also, if you're really thirsty, this actually makes you feel the thirst less, which is helpful if you don't have water around. So make a little tube with your lips, purse your lips, and then breathe in. As much as you can, and then exhale through the nose, calmly. Again, breathe in. Exhale. One more time. Exhale through the nose. So notice how that makes you feel. I don't know about you, but for me, I found it really helpful. And then, for example, when I was waking up in the middle of the night and couldn't get back to sleep, I would do this breath and it could be really like calming. So that's Sitali, which is really great. Now, another great breath exercise for anxiety and just kind of like refreshing your whole mind is a Viloma breath, which is steps. So here we go up in steps of 5, and then we exhale smoothly. So I like to do this when I'm out in the world. It's quite easy to hide. And also anytime when I'm just feeling anxious. I also like to do it as part of my yoga practice because it really makes you feel aerated. There's a lot of other breath practices which are very dynamic, which you don't do during pregnancy because they involve a contraction of the navel, and so we're not doing that. So you can do this practice either just with your hands, however, but I like to do it in particular when I'm at home with the arms up in the air and also making little cups out of the hands. So this is a receptive gesture. Having the arms in the air also opens your lungs up, which is quite nice. So you can try that, but if you don't want to, you can keep your hands on the knees. So again, the spine is nice and long. And here we inhale in a step of 5. Exhale out the nose smoothly like a slide. Good. Do it 2 more times. Exhale. Hold it at the top just a little bit. Exhale out. Straight away breathe in. Maybe hold it. And then exhale. If your arms are in the air, and even if they're not, you can hook the thumbs and reach up, breathe in. Fill up the lungs completely. And then exhale. Take your fingertips down to the earth. And close your eyes for a moment just to pay attention to how it feels to do a breath like that. So I should say, even though here we hold the breath a tiny, tiny bit at the top of the inhale, we never hold the breath out on the exhale during pregnancy because it creates like a vacuum and it's not good for baby. So be careful with any holding out of the breath. So I have one more exercise to show you, which is just like the queen of all pranayama practices. You've maybe heard or seen this before, Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breath. And so very short summary is that the left nostril is the lunar channel, the cooling one, and the right nostril is the solar channel, which is the heating one. And so there's sometimes when you're not pregnant, you can practice one where you breathe in through the right nostril and out through the left. That's very energizing, but it's not good for pregnancy because, like I said, the body temperature is raised and we don't want to raise it further. What you can do, however, is the Chandra Badan, which is the left nostril in and right nostril out, which is cooling. So just in through left and out through right. But doing the balance of both is totally fine and very, very calming and very grounding and balances the 2 hemispheres of the brain. So it's a wonderful thing to practice, and it really not only reduces anxiety but just gets you super balanced in your body, which is really nice. So here, we let the left hand rest on the knee, and when I'm doing it, I use the hand to count. I count using the finger pads of how many rounds I'm doing, but it depends how many you're doing, and you can mentally count as well. We use the thumb of the right hand to close the right nostril, right at the bony part where it finishes there, where the cartilage begins. And then we use the ring finger of the right hand to close the left nostril. So first of all, we always begin with the left, close off the right nostril, and inhale through the left. Close the left, and then exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. And then exhale through the left. So that's one round. So what you could also do, I forgot to say, is you can make a little mudra with the left hand if you're not counting. And so here we'll do just 3 rounds to practice. You can do as many as you like on your own. So let's close off the right. Exhale. Or rather, exhale first, then close the right. Now inhale through the left. Close the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. So you can close your eyes here, it's quite nice to do so. Maybe take your gaze to the center of your forehead. Inhale. Exhale right. Inhale through the right. Close the right and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left straight away. Close left and exhale right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Let's in fact do 2 more rounds. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Last one here. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. And let the hands rest and breathe normally through both nostrils. Just noticing how you feel again. What you can do when you practice that on your own is you can start to make the inhales and exhales long. So you can do a count, again, inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. Or maybe even lengthening the exhale so that you inhale for 4 and exhale for 6, say. Again, we don't hold out. We don't hold the breath on the exhale. You can pause for a slight moment on the top of the inhale, but again, not something that I would necessarily emphasize during this time. So I hope that that is useful, that you have found something that you can take away and apply. Like I say, you can practice all these breaths together, or you can use breaths a la carte, if you will, to deal with how you're feeling during this sometimes challenging, although in general, beautiful time. So I wish you very well. Thank you very much. See you next time.